Hey, what's up, guys? It's Manuel. Back to you again for another lesson. This time we're going to be doing Kickstarter studies, all right? So if you guys are very interested in raising money for your campaigns, you're going to need to know this stuff. Okay, so let's go get in here right now. Let's have this out. So, start a little bit late, but everything's all right. We're good. Let's see what we got here. We're going to be looking at some Kickstarters. We're going to be looking at my Kickstarter. We're going to be looking at other Kickstarters. Right now, black is on there, so let's look that up. White. Let's see. Let's find white in comic books. Can I find that? Let's see, maybe black. Now I'm basically just trying to find this campaign. I know I saw it there earlier. Well, if it's not there, I can always just go backwards. Let's see. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're looking at a couple of things today. We're going to be looking at some campaigns that are really strong, some campaigns that aren't, you know, and but first, before we do any of that, tell me where you're at. Tell me how you've done so far. Your book's almost ready to go to an editor? Who's ready to send their stuff to an editor? How many words have you done so far? What is your status? Oh, Love Light's working on printing. Interesting. So you're already up that stage, huh? Primus 7 is not for my company. I don't know. Primus 7 is for Noir Caesar, right? Yeah, that's what it is, and it's not my campaign. Doesn't have anything to do with me. And Noir Caesar launched Primus 7 like back in 2017. You know, I don't think that campaign did well though. I think they killed it. That's good. That's good. So, yeah, you talking about the hardcover. Yeah, the hardcover is the first 3 comic books. So it's the first arc of Black Sands. You know, so that's issue 1, 2, and 3. You know, and issue 4 is about to drop at the end of the month. You know, we got some pretty dope updates for that. So I'm happy. Hopefully we get that out right on time. You know, that we can have that 2-month release schedule. But let's go and study some projects. If you haven't backed this campaign, maybe you should, because it's pretty hardcore political. But I'm going to show you about White by Kwanzaa Osai. Now, this is actually pretty freaking dope. It's the writer who wrote the story Black. If you remember that manga, Black was basically, what if black people were the only people with superpowers, right? It's set in modern day United States with all the political strife that's in the U.S., you know, and the fact that only black people got superpowers can make prejudice just extreme, you know. So this is gonna be pretty dope. Let me show you what it is right now. Let me share some screens. All right, so let's share that screen. So what we got here is white. All right, now this campaign has 13 days to go, so you can check that out yourself. But let's talk about why people are actually backing this campaign, right? The campaigns, the way they set up the campaign, and everything else. So white. The log line is, how does America react when only black people have superpowers? Find out in this sequel to the critically acclaimed Black. All right. So first of all, well, I'll go over their awards later on, their rewards. But let's just go over their sections, right? So the first section is about, right? He said, how's a nation struggling with a history of racial inequality cope in the world where only black people have superpowers? Now, if you notice, just by this bolded line right here, right? He's already saying who his readers are going to be. He doesn't care about everyone. This one's clearly talking about people who care about racial inequality. Okay, so he's drawing that line in the first sentence of his thing. Why? Because people who are Kickstarter backers, right, who fit his agenda will back his campaign. However, people who do not probably wouldn't back this campaign no matter what, right? No matter if he pandered to them or not, he still wouldn't get them to back up. That's why he makes it divisive right from the jump. All right, now he goes into all these things. You don't really need to know about this. This is basically backstory of the thing. But look at this. Are you looking at these covers? This is what we call clickbait galore. All right, this is the first one, black. It's just right in the center of the page. It says black. And on the other one, you see white, which is the new book, right? This is the new book in the series. And look at how that cover looks. It looks like something from the freaking Lincoln Address or something, man. This is straight up American like visions all together right there. And the title's saying white, right? So when it's black, it's a guy with his hands up and guns pointing at his face. When it's white, it's the entire nation being addressed. All right, so this is some serious subliminal messaging just from the covers alone, right? Some examples of the pages, not too much, just enough to go and get you intrigued, right? We don't want to give away too much. Kickstarter exclusive. So it says, that's right. The only way to get your hands on these copies of white is through this Kickstarter. So it's basically saying there's nothing you can do about it. The only way you can get this particular book is through Kickstarter. All right. Then you say backer rewards. He keeps it real simple, right? Digital comic subscription, limited variant first issue, limited edition graphic novel, and retail bundle issue 1 through 6. Right? He doesn't make it too complicated. He wants everyone to be able to understand there's basically 4 real rewards in this campaign. Look at that. So he has all these different things. Bam, 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 bam. And then backer stretch goals. He has all these stretch goals. Not that it matters, right? But, you know, basically what he's saying. Then they have backer reward unlocks. This actually grows over time. This is what happens. So basically, some people set up like extra gifts that are included, but only if they reach a certain goal past their original goal. If they reach a certain goal, then they're going to add a reward to everybody's things who's getting rewards in the campaign. He's giving it to them for free. It's a cool way to keep motivating people to pitch in, even if they're only pitching in $5 or $10, because everybody gets to unlock the reward together. All right. Creative team, you know, real simple, nothing that crazy. The timeline here is actually pretty cool because I don't do stuff like this. I hate doing timelines, right? But this is basically a good way to visualize when people will get their book. So it says they're going to start development in January, and by November it should be done. Then the digital chapters will be released around this time, right? And then all the comic books will release by March of 2020. All right. So that's pretty cool. All our production time, and then you have the production time, how much money they're actually going to spend. This is where a lot of the classes that I taught you comes very important. All right, you need these class. You need to know your numbers. This is the most deadly part of a Kickstarter. And risk and challenges. No one really reads this, but if you do put up there some risk and challenges, they're basically like disclaimers. There's stuff just to say, hey, if everything goes wrong, this is what's going to happen, okay? Now, this is a cool campaign, you know, very professional. It got projects we love, which is something you definitely want to get if you're making a Kickstarter. You want to have projects we love because it helps with the algorithm. It shows it to people who are not necessarily your fans on Kickstarter. Kickstarter is one of the biggest platforms in the world for crowdfunding, all right? And then you have your awards. The awards are pretty simple for this campaign. There's $10 rewards, there's $20 rewards, $30 rewards, 40 and 60. You see, there's no big rewards in this campaign. He's basically depending on this. This right here is the thing he's depending on. Lots of backers. He doesn't care about the other stuff. You know, he doesn't care about getting a whole bunch of people who do really big pledges in order to get this campaign a success. What he's looking for is numbers. So he has all these low-level tiers in order to get as many people as he possibly can to support the campaign. Now, there's some things in this thing that I don't necessarily understand, but maybe he can explain it himself when he gets a chance. But there's some red flags that I would like to show you guys. So one is this one right here. Pledge US $20 or more, and you'll get the wholesale priced bundle of white issues 1 through 6 periodicals with retail covers. Shipping includes in the U.S. marked first printing. So this is kind of crazy because when I look at this, right, when I look at that particular tier, right, $20. First of all, let's say you get the cheapest possible comics you can print, period, right? You're looking at close to, I would say, $10. $10 printed for these comics. Additionally, you guys ship them all. Now, if you're shipping, let's say you do a medium mail, you'll pay an additional $3. So really, that tier right there, this tier right here, nets them $7 if they're shipping in the United States, because they're already paying for the shipping with the what's it called, right? Now, if it's $7 per person, right? It's not really that much to go and actually create the product. You understand what I'm saying? So the product itself doesn't really have a lot of funding in this tier, so it's a very dangerous tier. But you know, I think these kind of campaigns rely on viral success. So I assume this number right here is going to get to 1,600 by the end of the campaign. I think. They clearly had a lot of help from Kickstarter itself, because Kickstarter actually wrote an article about them, which is weird because I never see that nowadays. But they definitely wrote an article about this campaign, which is very interesting. You know, and like I said, that usually never ever happens. But for some reason, they felt like it was important to point them out. You know, and that's basically it. So let me go ahead and let me get back into this comment section, and we can discuss this campaign. You tell me what you think about it. All right, so let's see. So, guys, What do you think about that right there? What do you think about that campaign? The stuff that I showed you. It's obvious. It obviously is a professional campaign. It looks professional. I think their numbers are a bit off dramatically. Like it's way too cheap for what they're promising people. And but hopefully it doesn't become a big problem later on because that's kind of dangerous. Ninja, I have absolutely no clue. I didn't read the series that deep, so I have no clue about the characters. But I do know the writer. I've met him multiple times before in New York, and they have a pretty successful comic series. You know. You don't have to do a video for Kickstarter, but basically, like 80% of the campaigns that succeed have a Kickstarter video. So it's not required, but most people put it in there. They don't shy from it. Most people are definitely trying to get that Kickstarter video ASAP. You know. Orlandis, how would the rewards be different for novels? They wouldn't be. They just wouldn't. His rewards are very simple. Get this book, get this book, get this book, and get this book. So basically, there's absolutely nothing different from a comic book and a Kickstarter. Same exact thing. Absolutely nothing different. Yeah, so yeah, like Great Gale, I think that's a huge problem with that campaign. Hopefully they get their numbers down, but God, that's a very tight like margin for error, like extremely small margin for error on that campaign. Usually when I do Kickstarter goals, I always mark stuff up by like close to like 200%, right? So if I'm paying $7, I'm charging you 20, right? That's just the way I do it, no matter what. And I don't include shipping in that because shipping is variable. It's always a variable. You don't know what the hell shipping is going to be in a year. USPS could change the entire freaking the entire way they do shipping, and now everything's $2 more per person. So if you have thousands of people you have to ship to, you could be in absolute disaster mode. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say about that. Basically, it can get very dangerous. All right. Now, one thing I want to talk about is my campaign. So I'm gonna show you my campaign, the one that I'm currently working on. It's not going to be ready until April 1st, but you can look at some of the things and some of my logic for my goals and tiers. All right, this is what we consider a small campaign. This is basically the kind of campaign you're going to be running. Okay, you don't want to run a big ass campaign like a $10,000, $20,000 campaign if you're just starting out. That is crazy. You want to do a $3,000 to $5,000 campaign, right? And you don't want to take 10 years to do it too. You want to do it in basically a couple of days, like 28 maximum. But really, you probably want to get it done a little faster, right? Because it really doesn't matter if it's 28 or if it's freaking 21. The middle is always dead, right? So it's the beginning and the end that makes the difference. Nope, Ace, there is no good plug. Literally, the cheapest you could possibly print comic books is like $1.17, and he's promising 6 comic books. Plus bags, plus boards, packaging and shipping. That's a lot of goddamn money. So, I'm definitely looking out for that. So let's see here. Let's go into my campaign, right? By the way, make sure to back that campaign, man. Don't go and if you like that kind of stuff, go and support it. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is just a preview of what we're doing with our campaign. This is Black Sands, the First Pharaoh, a manga adaptation of The Dark Past of Ra, the Dark Pharaoh, based on the award-winning Black Sands universe. Right, I'll probably change this logline to say a manga adaptation of something besides dark, because it's two darks in one sentence, and that is repetitive, and no one likes repetitive stuff. So maybe the bleak, right, or cruel past, the cruel past of Ra, the Dark Pharaoh, based on the award-winning Black Sands universe. Now, the reason why I say dark past or cruel or whatever is simply to go and tell people that this is not the same feeling for this book as you would see in the campaign for Black Sands, the Seven Kingdoms, right? The Seven Kingdoms is more family friendly, right? It has a lot of content in there for kids, right? So we tend to not put that much emphasis in the really hardcore stuff that really goes on in the Black Sands universe. This book, the First Pharaoh, is basically going to throw all that crap out the window. Okay, this is going to be pretty hardcore, you know. So the other one was, so Black Sands, the Seven Kingdoms, was inspired by Avatar, Naruto, and the Boondocks. Black Sands, the First Pharaoh, is inspired by 300, Berserk, and other anti-hero themed stories. All right, written by Manuel, the First Pharaoh follows the brutal dictator Ra in his quest to conquer Kemet. Along his destructive path, he comes across Nephilim giants, hordes of cannibals, and a legendary titan. He is accompanied by his kin Geb and Nui in this wildly dangerous story. What to expect, demigods, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right? And that's all I have in there right now, but let's go over these rewards, because I was kind of critical about the rewards in the other campaign. Right? So I'm going to talk to you about what the logic is behind the rewards that I'm giving. So first, digital copy of the First Pharaoh. This is $10. This is just a barrier to entry, okay? This is for anybody who wants to support our campaign and simply don't have the funds to do so. So they go, okay, well, at least I'm gonna pledge $10, right? And I'll get a digital copy of the book. Pretty dope, right? You need that barrier. You need that low tier that's not hard to fulfill, right? So always make it digital, right? Because you don't have to spend anything on digital. You set up a link, they get the link, they download it. That's it. Very simple stuff, right? My estimated time for delivery, I already know how long it's going to take to finish the comics. So June of 2019 is very reasonable. All right. July of 2019, though, is for the physical, because every time you make a book, you have to have at least a month to actually print the book. Right. So that means that you're looking at July of 2019. The first tier where we actually have physical copies is $25 tier. It's a signed copy of the First Pharaoh, right? We're including free shipping in the USA. However, it's not necessarily free. What it really is the book itself, I'm charging $20 for this campaign. It's more expensive during this campaign than it would be just regularly. So if it was just a regular comic book on my table at a convention, it would be a lot less than $20. But because I'm trying to not just sell a comic book but actually make the damn thing, right? I need to have a much bigger markup in order to guarantee that I can afford to make the book and print it and then ship it to you, right? So this is the reason why I have a $20 price point as the book and then $5 shipping. All right. Now, this is semantics, and it's very important that you use semantics when you're explaining things. So I could say shipping is included in the price, right? But when I say shipping is included in the price, what it really is saying is that I charged you for shipping, right? If I say free shipping in the USA, now it sounds like you got a deal instead of me charging you for shipping. I did charge you for shipping, but because I'm saying free shipping in the US, You're like, oh, okay, it's more of an impulse buy. Like, oh, okay, cool. I don't even have to pay for shipping. I'm good. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So then we go into the next level, $60 or more. Now you notice the jumps. I don't take small jumps. I always make bigger jumps per stage, right? This is called the True Supporter tier. He said, get the legendary manga plus 3 unique posters of the main characters in the series, Geb, Nuit, and Ra. Shipping included in the USA, right? And I need to make sure to change shipping included to free shipping in the US, because I don't know why I changed it over. I think I might have just had like a brain fart and just decided to write shipping included in the USA, but that's definitely not how you want to write that. You want to write free shipping in the USA. So bam, 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 and this is how it goes. Digital comic of the first saddle, signed physical of the first, and 3 posters, July of 2019. This is where we get interesting, all right? When you get to the higher tiers, you have to give people exclusive content, all right? People are not going to pay $100 for something that's not exclusive, all right? Now, in our DVD, we got people to actually be able to put their names into the film, right? That was something that was considered an exclusive reward for Kickstarter backers, right? However, and this is very important, however, because this is a comic book, we can't just have hundreds and hundreds of names in the book. That's kind of ridiculous. So instead, what we're going to do is this right here. So it says Kickstarter exclusive tier, a SAR novel. This tier contains the legendary novel about the main character in Black Sands universe, a SAR. This is 100% Kickstarter exclusive for the first year. This book is already in production and slated to be finished near the end of the summer. Get this legendary Kickstarter exclusive plus all of the previous rewards, shipping included in the USA. So right here, this is where it is. It says signed physical copy of Asar, Rise of the God Killer, exclusive, right? Make sure to keep pointing that out. Exclusive, 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 right? This is very important in order to push a tier. Basically, in the video that I'm going to be making for our campaign, we are going to be pushing this tier hard for everybody. We're going to say, this book right here, the Asar book, this is the only place you're going to get this for a year unless you meet us at a convention. This is the only chance. You got to get this book because this is going to be legendary. All that kind of cool stuff, right? Super awesome. Then, because why the hell would anybody give us more than $100? You really have to be excited about some tiers. So we're bringing back character slots. Character slots used to exist in our original Kids to Kings Kickstarter. We had multiple characters given out to people for $500. Characters that are still in the story today. All right, we have actual real life backers who have their not just face but their likeness. So that means their entire body likeness. People who are chubby are chubby in the story. People who are skinny in the story. If they have dreads, they have dreads. This is how we do it. They have a huge giant smile, they have a huge giant smile in the story. All right, this is how we do it. We decide who the character is. So you can't decide who the character is because we got to basically match the lore and everything else and make sure that our story doesn't change too much when we implement the character. However, you never know how I feel sometimes. I might make a character who's a major character, but it's not supposed to be around much, and then they end up being like the main focus for 2 issues. You never know, right? That's one of the cases with one of our characters in issue 4. You're going to see him in issue 4 and issue 5. A major character in our series. Wasn't that way when I originally cast that dude for backing our Kickstarter campaign in 2017. All right, so in this $250 tier, they get all the rewards of the $100 tier plus a minor character slot. That means that a minor character is like random soldier or random giant or random priest, right? These are random units who might not necessarily say anything. They might say something, but most of the time they're just there for like one panel and they're gone, right? That's a minor. That's basically like showing up as an extra in a film, right? You show up in there and you can put your name in there and say, look at that, man, I was in that mug. That's what this is. It's only $150 if you do the math. It's only $150 in order to get that extra bonus. But this limited amount of people, I could only have about 20 backers who can get this tier. And the reason for that is because you don't want to have too many damn people like being put into the book. But these are minor characters, so I can put at least 20 in there, right? Different soldiers, different what's it called, traders, whatever. You know, there's plenty of variety in that to go and put a whole bunch of different people in there. Then we have the $500 tier, become a major plot character. This is limited. This is extremely limited. So this one right here, there's only 5 slots for this, all right? There's only 5 slots, and this is an extremely limited position. We had this before in our original Kickstarters. You will basically sign up to be a major character, and we will decide where your likeness would fit in the story. The choices are limited, but the character will have an extended role to play in the story. We are only offering 5 slots for this unless we reach additional stretch goals. This tier includes everything in the $100 tier as well, right? And this is just the dopeness. That's the one that's probably gonna disappear in like 5 seconds. All right. Now our goal is only $5,000. The reason being is because we're going to do a novel roughly 32 to 50 pages long. Right. That's how. Well, actually, it's close to 40 to 60 pages long. Right. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be pretty extensive, and it's going to be pretty dope. And we're only doing a 21-day campaign. So unlike other campaigns that always do like a month-long campaign, after running like 4 different Kickstarters, I've decided that I'm not going to do 28-day campaigns unless it's like major goals. I'm just going to stick to 21 because I want to get in and out as fast as possible. I want to get back into production as quickly as I can. After your campaign ends, you have to wait additional 2 weeks to do processing, all right, before they actually give you the funds. So if you want to wait a month and a half, 60-day campaign, just realize you're not going to get your money until 10 weeks from the day you launch your campaign. So that could be brutal, right? So just pay attention to that, all right? Let's get back into this into this conversation. All right, let's see what we got here. So basically, that's the kind of tiers you're going to be looking for. Now, when someone says, "Can we copy your tiers?" Technically, you can copy anybody's tiers, right? You just have to be able to handle the numbers, right? You got to understand why I'm doing X, Y, and Z. If you're making a novel, you probably don't want to sell any posters at all. You probably just want to go and just skip the posters, skip the markup for the posters, and instead do like a $20, $40, $60 campaign, right? 20, 40, and 60. That's the 3 tiers. Make them real nice. You only have like maybe $10 to $15 of printing, and then $5 of shipping for all of the content, and you're looking at keeping at least $40 for production. That's a really good campaign for a novel. Ace the Outsider, capoeira. If you're talking about ancient capoeira, aka kick heavy, and dance oriented. Is that what you're talking about? Because if that's the case, then a Petamock would be the closest thing you can get to that, because he has a very versatile fighting style. He uses spears, but when he's not using spears, he tends to be kicking you in the face, right? And he uses his spear to help him balance while he's doing these ridiculously hard kicks. So technically, yeah. Now, do we have any questions about Kickstarter? Go ahead and shoot. Send me your questions and I'll answer them. And then once I am done with that, we will end this stream and then we'll continue. I would say Wednesday. Wednesday we'll have another class because on this weekend I'm going to be at C2E2 in Chicago. All right. So I won't have any time to teach. So on Wednesday we'll do the PowerPoint, the second PowerPoint for the Kickstarter series. All right. And that PowerPoint will go over the 3 topics that I said we'll be following up with after the campaign. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions. If you don't, I'm going to kill it and then we're going to call it a day. I don't know. I have no clue what music you should use. You know, it's a whole bunch of Creative Commons music where you can use it for your Kickstarter campaigns. You know, so pick one that fits your theme. Is Kickstarter the only means we are using to get our stories published? If you ain't got no money, you need Kickstarter. All right. If you don't want to buy your second book, if you don't want to pay for your second book, you want to do Kickstarters. All right. But you don't have to. You can just pay for your next book yourself. 100% on you. What the hell is that? Would a trailer for the second issue be a bad tier option? I have no clue what that means. What I would tell you to do is do a short story and add that as a special tier upgrade, like an extra item. Right? Just a short story, something short, something that doesn't require art because art is expensive. So maybe like a little novella, right? And add that as a special reward that increases the value of their pledge. But a trailer of the second issue would be not something you would sell ever. That's just something you do as a YouTube update or something. Anyone else? My head hurts. Well, all right, guys. I am out. I will see you guys later. See you on Wednesday.